Hi, this is Michael Fisher for SavingAndInvesting.com, and I want to speak a little bit more about defined benefit plans, which are one of the two main types of pension plans that exist. Defined benefit plans are plans in which the benefit that is paid to the retiree upon retirement is dependent on a set formula as opposed to the investment returns that were generated during the time that the now retiree was working. So in other words, defined benefit plans define a benefit that is paid to the retiree on retirement or during retirement. These are often final salary plans, for example, where the benefit is defined by the final year's salary or an average of the final year's salaries. And they can be based on the amount of service that's taken place to the company or to the employer or to the government. For example, the benefit could be defined as being a certain amount of money for each year of service is paid per month to the retiree. So for example, $100 per month for every year of service, which means that someone who had worked for 20 years for that employer would end up with $2,000 a month for 20 years of service. Defined benefit plans can either be funded or unfunded. In the case of an unfunded defined benefit plan, there's no money set aside for retirees, and retirees are paid out of money that comes in from the company while they're retired, the contributions that the company makes on their behalf while they're retired, or through contributions that may be taken from employees while they're working for the employer while others are retired. And these are also known as pay-as-you-go systems, and they're quite common in European countries. That the state defined benefit pension part is unfunded, meaning that retirees are receiving money from people who are contributing at the present time, at the same point in time. So money from people that are working is going to people that are retired. Of course, there are risks in that type of a system, in that if the demographics are such that there are a lot of retirees and very few people paying in, then because of an aging population, then that creates a real mismatch between the amount of money coming into the plan, to the unfunded plan, or the pay-as-you-go plan, and the amount of money that has to be paid out. The other type of plan is a funded plan, where money typically from the employer is set aside during the retiree's employment for his retirement. And that type of a plan has advantages in that some capital is set aside, so the plan has planned ahead effectively for the retirement. Again, if there are too many retirees for the amount of capital set aside, or if the investment returns within the plan don't meet expectations, then it can be the case, and has been the case in some cases, that these types of defined benefit plans end up being underfunded, meaning that the benefit, which is effectively promised and defined, is not met or cannot be met by the quantity of assets that have been set aside in the investment returns that were accumulated. And some examples of this are British Airways and other firms in industries that typically had more employees years ago and today have potentially less employees and potentially a less profitable business, but many retirees who had their benefit defined. And that is one of the reasons why many newer plans, especially in the private sector, i.e. among companies, non-government entities, are now in the form of defined contribution plans, which we'll describe in the next section.